These awesome specials on the network, they're incredible in every single way possible. They're done very well, and this one especially was done very well. But when it comes down to it, we're trying to get all the information out to the viewers before they forget about what they just saw. And if you blink, you miss a lot of Monday night commercials tonight.
Oh, no kidding. I thought I was the only one that noticed that. It was worse than ever tonight.
It was funny because there's a lot of people on Twitter about it. Suro Disney here, and we're going to talk a little WWE Raw. Obviously, there's only a couple things really to discuss, but you know how we do things here on Pop. We discuss everything. And I've got my notes. Thankfully, it's less than normal, which is crazy. I only have two full pages of notes for this week.
So it kind of tells you, it tells the viewers, spoiler, you didn't miss much.
No, if you were watching E3 coverage or basketball, you probably picked the right choice. Joining me was going to be just Aaron, but we got a surprise. Ashley, welcome back.
It's not a surprise. I just needed to recover from E3.
I was surprised because the way you were talking, it sounded like you weren't going to be able to make it.
I wasn't, but I thought the press conference was going to last 2 hours. If it had, I think I might actually be dead. Thankfully, it was 90 minutes, and I just need to recover.
It's definitely a surprise to me, so welcome back, Ashley, because it wasn't spoiled like Brock was.
And I will say real quick that we did have a special guest lineup for the podcast tonight that wasn't Ashley. Somebody that would be someone that regular podcast viewers know from other podcasts I've done, and that's all I'm going to say there. That person will be joining us probably for most likely SummerSlam.
Oh.
I think I confirmed that last night. So, yeah, we may be having another three-man broadcast team for SummerSlam.
Fun.
Given the fact that that's a little bit closer to his place of residence. Still far away, but it's a little closer, so.
He lives near you, or he lives where SummerSlam's going to be?
Different. He lives in John Cena country.
Well, no, I can't laugh. I'm from Boston, so.
Yeah.
And Neve. There we go.
All right. So before we get started, obviously, if you watched our podcast for Money in the Bank last night, thank you. And if you watched the podcast for Money in the Bank, you know that Aaron and myself both gave our opinions about the sudden tragic passing of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And Ashley was not able to give his thoughts on the subject, so I'm going to give Ashley the floor right now to do just that.
That was a pretty crappy day, you know, finding out when I woke up that Ron Moody and Christopher Lee had passed away. And then staying away from the internet, just doing whatever, and then finding out via a Twitch stream that Dusty had passed away. It was like, this can't be true. And like it was with Randy Savage, it was just like, this can't be true. And then just doing research and everything and finding out, yeah, one of the worst bit of news that certainly that I've had in probably since the Randy Savage thing.
I would say so.
Yeah, one of the greats. I've actually, after his death, that same day I ordered the DVD, which is out of print. Which quite a bit of the footage was included in this documentary that they had tonight.
Yeah.
I know there is one match. I think it's the match between him and Superstar Billy Graham. It was a Taker's death match.
Yeah.
Which for some reason is excluded from the UK version of the DVD.
Interesting.
So, thank God, 8 years ago via Justin.tv, before it became Twitch, I downloaded it because somebody streamed it.
Wait a minute. Justin TV is what Twitch is now?
I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
Justin TV was a whole, like, live streaming platform.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of, like, wrestling shoot interviews on there.
And pay-per-views.
Transitioned into a subsidiary, which was Twitch TV. which was focusing on video game content, and video game content surpassed it. Justin TV disappeared, and the irony is now Twitch TV now wants to get into just regular streaming as well. So it's like, so why did you shut it down in the first place? Regardless, yeah, great on the mic, great in the ring, great for the developmental for what, nearly 2 decades.
Yes.
Take into account his work in WCW, well, actually 3 decades, because of course he was the brainchild behind Starrcade back in '85. So
correct.
Going back as far as that, a guy that's been instrumental in helping create a lot of people in the business. I did love the fact that quite a lot of the NXT stars changed their Twitter names to the Dusty names that Dusty gave them at various points.
I noticed that.
Oh, what was Steen's one? Kip Stern, I think, or something.
It's something like that, yeah.
And Sami Zayn's one, Cesaro, just a whole bunch of people that came through him, and right up to when he passed, he was always part of the NXT developmental stuff, trying to get people better at their work and everything. And yeah, he was even like a father figure to. You could even tell in that the end of the documentary, even Triple H was sort of getting choked up by it, because I think even he was a father figure to him.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And quick note, it's also really rare to ever see Triple H cry. I think this one hit home, not like Ultimate Warrior did hit him home, but I think this hit home a little bit more than the Ultimate Warrior.
Certainly, I think because of the whole NXT angle, because Triple H has always treated it as his sort of promotion.
Right.
Ever since he was really given the keys, and he trusted Dusty to basically be a good advisor in helping him get to grips with everything. And from what I heard, the show on Thursday night in Philly was a pretty damn awesome, probably one of the best NXT shows that there's been.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
They did Dusty proud, and I think will continue to do so.
Without question.
Throughout their careers. And whether they'll not admit it, but whether they'll remember it or not, I'd say everything from now on will be in his honor.
Absolutely, and it's completely deserving of that honor as well.
I actually retweeted a chance to win tickets to this Thursday night's NXT tapings, just to be there for the fact that, not see good wrestling, but, for the fact that Dusty Rhodes' spirit will live in that Full Sail Live building forever.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Because the best, one of the best minds in professional wrestling was Dusty Rhodes, and then he's one of the greatest minds behind NXT. He's one of the primary reasons why, along with Triple H, we enjoy and need NXT in our wrestling fan lives.
And it's like I was trying to get to Money in the Bank, and when that happened, it was kind of like I really want to be there even more so now. And that was a very fitting tribute to have the entire roster on top of the ramp and then play the American Dream theme at the end. A lot of genuine emotion with everybody, and justifiably so.
It was very nice to see that on broadcast television tonight. To start off Raw, they re-aired that segment.
It was very good, especially the people that weren't able to watch the event because they were doing whatever, and I think it's something that needed to be seen by everybody.
Yes, that's exactly what I said on Twitter, and very classy move. This whole celebration of Dusty Rhodes, just like Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior. No other company in sports, I think, I'd go out on a limb and say that, does tributes like WWE. When someone dies, they don't look at the negative; they look at the positive of what legacy that person left.
Completely agreed there. That's the reason why ESPN wants to try to get the WWE production team to go over to their side because of their promo packages.
They're awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I don't mean to sound like a dick here, but I have to be honest. Unless it aired at the end of that tribute, I still haven't seen it.
Hmm.
But, you know, that's because I've been busy the last couple of nights with E3, and because I need rest. And I was it the one? Was it on SmackDown first, or did it air first last night on the pay-per-view?
I'm gonna guess it was on SmackDown first, but I can't say for sure because I did not watch SmackDown.
Oh, the music video tribute?
Oh, if it's the music video tribute, then they stuck it on at the end of the documentary, so I have
They
seen
did.
it, I think. So
Yeah, they did.
I don't have to worry, I have seen it.
Okay, good.
Hmm.
All right, so we go from something that was really well done to a buttload of commercials and a little bit of wrestling.
Oof. I mean, I tweeted out, I think I lost count. Wasn't there a commercial break during every match tonight?
It was almost like a drinking game.
Yeah. There you go.
The show starts off with Seth Rollins coming out with his Weasley laugh, and he's all alone. He doesn't have anybody, and he doesn't want anybody. He welcomes everyone to Raw is No, that's not it. Oh, yeah, Monday Night Rollins.
I wanted to get that trending. I started using that hashtag. I'm surprised they didn't promote it on WWE television. Monday Night Rollins. It's got a catch to it.
It's not bad.
Well, what's best for business, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
God. The best thing about Raw and your champion. Dean Ambrose brought his A-game last night, but the problem is his A-game is not as good as mine. He laughs like a weasel, of course. I beat him all by myself, and I took back my championship. He pulls out note cards like he's making an acceptance speech at the Oscars. He says, I want to thank all the little people. I want to thank Seth Rollins, and who am I forgetting? Oh, yeah, Seth Rollins.
I thought that was brilliant.
That was well done. I agree with that.
When he said little people, I thought I was going to say El Torito. Yeah, I will admit, yeah, all I've seen of Raw is probably the last 30, 40 minutes, give or take, ish. So just from that, I'm giving my reactions to what you're saying. It's probably more entertaining than most of the show was, from what I can tell.
Correct.
It is.
And that's the reason why there's not as many notes as normally this week. All right, where are we now? We are going into the fact that he brings up the fact he calls J&J Dumb and Dumber. He didn't need them. He didn't need the devil's favorite dinosaur, or even Triple H and Stephanie. Why? Because he's that good. This is what a world championship looks like. And right when he's saying that, it's basically laying the beans down and to raise into the beanstalk that would be Brock Lesnar returning to television, because it's those little things that people like latch on. It's like, wait a minute. He's saying this is the real championship. He's saying that this is what a real world champion looks like. This is the greatest world champion of all time. He's basically endearing himself to know that Brock Lesnar is about to take his head off. It's just a matter of when.
Got to look between the lines to where this is going, because this all leads up to the final minutes of the show.
Just like a Murdy code name. Now, anybody listening right now, hopefully you get that. Most people won't, but I know someone that's listening right now that probably will. So Ambrose comes out, and they fight, and he clotheslines him over the top to the floor. Rollins goes after the knee. Ambrose finally gets back on the attack, and Rollins runs for cover. Ambrose puts a chair in the ring and basically schedules a sit-in. He's not going to go anywhere until Rollins comes back out. We come to commercial. He's still in the ring, obviously. And Seth's like, he walks up to Triple H and Stephanie. He's like, you going to do anything about this? He's like, oh, it's already taken care of. Or this is for you, Aaron. It's already done.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is they're going to deal with it their own way, and they have to understand that Rollins is not asking for help anymore. It's like, you don't need us anymore. It's like, I didn't say that. It's like, oh, Stephanie's like, that's exactly what you said. And it's like, you know what? If he's going to hold the show hostage, he's going to take care of it. So obviously we get someone to come out. It's like, it's my title. It's my show. It's me, me, me. He's literally the Jan Brady of the WWE right now. And when it comes down to it, he's like, stopped dead in his tracks. I was like, wait a minute, you realize what you're saying right now? You're saying it's your show, it's your title. Don't forget where you came from. It's like the parents that use the adage, "I brought you into this world. I can take you out of it." I guess the best way to put it.
Yeah.
So basically, Triple H is discussing what's going to be next. Who's going to be the next challenger? We're going to find out later on tonight. It's like, we trust you to beat Dean Ambrose by yourself. Now you trust us to make the right decision on who you're going to face at Battleground. Here comes Sheamus. He's got his Money in the Bank briefcase. Yay. He says, I'm a winner and you're a loser. I'm always one brogue kick away from being the next champion. Basically, the authorities sent him out to do damage control and clear Ambrose out. So they both want to fight. That's what we roll right into. Dean Ambrose and Sheamus. Match was short. A television match, without a doubt. Probably something that would have went midway through a show normally, if I had to guess. And at this point, Randy Orton ends up coming out midway through the match, right after Ambrose goes for Dirty Deeds version 2. Sheamus powders to the floor, grabs the briefcase, like, I don't need this. And the next thing you know, here comes Randy Orton out, because this is the feud that never ends.
Don't be shocked if we talk more about it later.
We will. Ambrose tosses him in. Sheamus goes for the brogue. It gets ducked, and Ambrose rolls him up. 1, 2, 3, match over. Okay. Orton attacks Sheamus. Orton attacks Sheamus and posts him. He goes for the snake bite and the RKO, but he gets shoved off. Sheamus powders with the briefcase. And to me, Aaron, I don't know if you got this or not, Ambrose was an afterthought in this segment. This was all about Sheamus and Randy Orton and building their feud and their matches.
Yeah, kind of was.
It's kind of like, I mean, this is a weird comparison, but it's like when Rob Van Dam would be in a match and then he would lose and all of a sudden he'd powder to the floor so the guy he was facing and his new opponent who he's feuding with would face off.
Yeah. I mean, about Dean Ambrose, quick, I think fans are going to be like, well, there's no push for Dean Ambrose now. No, that's not true. He's one of, we said last time on Money in the Bank Popcast, or the other night now, he's arguably one of the most popular fan favorites and superstars in the roster. They have more stuff planned for him, so don't jump to conclusions that, just because he lost the WWE Championship, even though he never really held it, he just took hostage of it, kind of like CM Punk did, but at a different event, that they don't have any plans for him.
So in the back, Rollins walks into J&J, and he's like, I'm not the kind of guy to say I told you so, but I told you so. And he tries to get info, and it's like, basically, I'll bring you guys back in the fold if you tell me what Hunter and Steph are thinking for my opponent. And, of course, Silent Joey doesn't say anything. And he finally pipes up, and he says Rollins is afraid of him. And he laughs at this off. He's like, you know what? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's going to say in the record books that Seth lost to J&J security. And I'm sure that eats at him inside. It's not if, but when you're going to lose that championship. Everybody's basically putting no faith in Seth Rollins at this point. They're all just turning their back on him. So it's not turning him babyface. It's basically just making him a heel without any friends. Which is interesting. Especially if they're building the match at SummerSlam that's been rumored. So we get our first of many Dusty segments of the night. It showed the night where Dusty won the World Heavyweight Championship from Harley Race in Tampa, Florida. Always like that match because I like him winning the Flying Body Press. Very uncharacteristic of the Dream at that time.
Mm.
And Dusty and Harley always put together great matches, too.
I have to watch those.
I would, without a doubt. R-Truth comes out with what looked like a Burger King crown. He had a toilet plunger, and he had a sheet around his neck.
Well, I didn't even notice the toilet plunger at all.
Yeah, he had a toilet plunger, which is really telling what this program's about.
Like, toilet plunger.
What, Ashley?
Inflatable crown?
What'd you say about a crown?
Was it inflatable, or was it cardboard?
It looked like one of those cardboard Burger King crowns that kids get at the BK Lounge.
If it was inflatable, then he must have bought last month's loot break.
That would have been funnier, actually.
I know what the plunger was for. It was to plunge Wade Barrett's career.
Oh God, I wish someone would get that thing out of the toilet. It really needs to not be there anymore. King of the Ring, what? And he actually plays that up when he was cutting his promo. We'll talk about that in a minute. R-Truth and King Barrett, really quick match. Barrett jumps him at the bell, gets rolled up, 1, 2, 3, match over, and then he eats the bull hammer. He gets on the mic and says, "This isn't a joke. I earned the right to be called the King by winning the King of the Ring, a very prestigious tournament."
You forgot to mention, I mean, it wasn't as funny as last week, but JBL was like, "What are you doing? You're not in commentary. You're in the match. What you talking about, Willis?"
I legitly do. I try to block him out as much as I can. You may make a mockery of this, but you will all hail King Barrett. So hopefully, God, I hope this leads to something for Barrett. This stupid feud with Truth, when it's all said and done, hopefully they do actually something with Wade Barrett this time around. But given the fact that they seem really intent on giving him the Dolph Ziggler treatment, I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately.
It is King. What's up?
By hail Barrett, do you mean hail him a taxi or something?
Hail him a taxi so he can get to another company that treats him better.
Sorry, I cut you off, Aaron.
Oh no, it's okay. I was just gonna say, it's King. What's up? It's not King Barrett.
No, actually, it's hail him a taxi so he can get down to Winter Park as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, I got that reference. That's actually a good point. Who knows? It happened to Zack Ryder. Who knows?
He can shut up that punk Baron Corbin once and for all. Could you imagine Barrett and Rhino?
Ooh.
I want to see Barrett and Balor, too.
Yeah, no, Barrett and Balor.
Barrett and Joe?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Hey, Barrett and Tyler Breeze would be good, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of opponents you can put up, with it. Well, not a lot of opponents, a lot of feuds.
Yes.
There's more feuds to be had. Yeah, no, just send them down to NXT.
Wade Barrett needs to go to NXT now.
If the gimmick is not working, send them to NXT.
What you're trying to say is Barrett versus anybody but.
I want to see Barrett and Owens. I think it'd be awesome.
No, but I'm saying everybody but Barrett and R-Truth.
Oh yeah, because if R-Truth and Barrett goes to NXT, they'll come across each other's paths again.
I like Truth. Don't get me wrong. He's a nice guy. I work shows with him, but I don't understand where we're going with this. This is a comedy angle. I totally get that, but I kind of wish they would treat him with a little bit of respect. Like, I don't see him being Ron the Truth Killings in the WWE, but I mean, given the fact that it is in the video package, it is showing Dusty Rhodes raise Ron Simmons' hand, and he's clearly wearing the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. I understand it's TNA, but R-Truth is an NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and I really wish they would treat him as an actual competitor instead of just a comedy act.
I mean, like, his entrance music is the same as TNA, which I was surprised WWE actually kept.
Yeah.
Very surprised.
Well, it's IP, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh, yeah,
Because
he owns...
music. He has the rights to the music.
He's a rapper, so obviously he came up with his own theme.
That makes sense, then.
So, Paige is in the back trying to do a rally with the entire Divas locker room.
This is when I fell asleep.
I got to see Zack Ryder, which always makes me happy, and Heath Slater, which always makes me happy, and Fandango, which always makes me happy. That was cool. And then they were with that monster toolbox that looks like Travis Barker's like illegitimate son.
Because I don't know about you. I mean, I was fading away, and then I was slowly waking up, and every time I woke up, because I could hear in the background, of course, the segment kept going and going and going. How long was that segment?
It lasted a lot longer than it probably should have, but I understand what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And once again, it seems like they're building. I don't want to talk about it yet. We'll talk about it later. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All Aaron had was Maggle stuck on repeat.
Maggle. Maggle, Maggle.
Oh,
Byron Saxton on commentary for the end of Forever now.
Michael made a couple of mistakes tonight. So funny.
Probably because he was nervous by who was going to show up later that night. Oh wait, we'll get to that. Oh my word.
You can cover that better than I can, because like I said, I was about half paying attention at this point, because I was done with the show. Kevin Owens comes out. John Cena's not here tonight.
Oh, boo.
Crowd
That
was
is
kind of
so
half and half
rare.
on that response, honestly.
The-
Crowd gets a refund?
You know they actually did that back in the day.
oh,
That
I went.
happened recent as like a few months back, when he had his surgery.
I remember that.
Advertised, so I don't know.
that is ridiculous, though. Like, if he doesn't show up, it does say talent subject to change. They should not give refunds. If you give your money to WWE, you give your money to WWE. That's your fault.
I went to a WCW house show. The main event was Sting and Big Van Vader, which
Okay.
obviously they were feuding back then.
Right.
Vader got food poisoning and had to be taken off the show.
Yeah.
It could have been absolutely anything, but that's the reason we were given.
Right.
And it said if you want refunds, Sting's still going to be here, but if you want refunds, go to the box office and they'll take care of you. So it happens all the time.
I just don't agree with that. I mean, they still do it?
Occasionally, but not very often.
Yeah, they need to stop doing it.
Cena doesn't miss shows that often.
Yeah, no lie.
But Cena wasn't on tonight's Raw? That's bullcrap.
Let's get to that. Cena isn't here tonight, and the only person to blame is John Cena himself. I played a part, but Cena forced me to do what I did. He disrespected me. He said, "You belong here in front of all these people." Well, I know I belong here. You don't need to tell me this or endorse me in any way, shape, or form. They call me a sore loser. They say that Cena's a bad winner.
He got a round of applause for that comment about you
He
don't
did.
need to tell me.
Like I said, other than attacking people and like beating up like defenseless losers later on in the show, when it comes down to it, Kevin Owens is basically a babyface. He's booked as a babyface in all essence.
Yeah, I mean, well, the crowd reactions are similar to Brock Lesnar. I mean, if he truly is a heel, then people love Kevin Owens as they love Brock Lesnar.
Well, Lesnar's not a heel anymore. Lesnar's a babyface now.
Oh yeah, no.
I think if it wasn't solidified before, I think tonight did.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But we'll get to that later on.
Lesnar is whatever the hell he wants.
Exactly. He
established that ever since 1982.
Yeah. He insisted that I shake his hand. Why? Because he's all about hogging the spotlight. It's got to be his ego. When it comes down to it, he always has to be the hero. I did what I had to do. But don't forget, I still hold a victory. And that means the next time we face off, I want the United States title. So officially, the one that he stepped on, yes, exactly.
No, this is the big, huge sort of neon light arrow going, guess what's happening in Tokyo? Wink, 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 wink.
Honestly, I'm at the point now that they may actually swerve us and have him retain in Tokyo. It makes more. It obviously, given where they are and who it really is, I do think we see a title change in Japan, but they could swerve us. It's possible.
Oh, they could. I think I mentioned that as a possibility last night in the Money in the Bank podcast too. That Kevin Owens could retain.
I don't know. We'll be talking about that 10 o'clock in the morning that day. That'll be fun. So Owens is going to issue an open challenge because everyone knows that by and large the open challenges that Cena has had have been the diamond in the rough of a Raw broadcast, whether it's a good or bad show. It's always something you have to look forward to. And Owens threw out a challenge of his own. Where are we tonight? We're at the Quicken Loans Arena. We're in Cleveland, Ohio. Guess who accepts this challenge? Dolph Ziggler. With Lana.
I don't think this ever happened in AIW, but it should have done.
I can tell you for a fact, and know this from experience, that he does spend a lot of time at AIW when he's in town.
Oh, definitely. The last time that they were around, he was there.
Yeah, I can vouch for this 100%. And if you don't see him there, it doesn't necessarily mean he's not there.
He is everywhere.
He is. So he kisses Lana. So they're back to that again. that works. And again, he's the luckiest guy in the world because he got to be with Amy Schumer, and now he gets to kiss Lana. So yeah, Dolph Ziggler is one of the most lucky guys in the world.
Yeah, and AJ and Vicky.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, AJ and Vicky both, but I was putting over Amy Schumer. Sorry.
Right.
Hashtag get Owen a date with Amy. We tried to get it trending the other day.
Oh, we got that's fine. It's a new hashtag get trending. But when Dolph Ziggler was walking down the ramp, I was thinking like, I hope this doesn't turn into AJ Lee turning on John Cena.
No, God, no. You mean give Kevin Owens a valet? No way.
Yeah, no.
No chance.
That's what you got. Oh wait, that's not.
Oh God. So, but she still hasn't gone ringside yet, so she's still basically setting up to be at the top of the ramp when Rusev comes. Send for the man when Rusev comes out. But he doesn't come out because obviously he really can't walk very well right now. He was out for the segment, obviously, at Money in the Bank when everybody did the tribute to Dusty, but he hasn't been out otherwise. And they didn't do the Macho. They did not do the Mega Powers against the Ascension tonight again, so they got bumped 2 nights in a row.
They haven't been on Raw for a couple weeks now, it seems.
So it's the all apologies to Matt Damon line, apparently.
Mm.
So
out whether that got taped for Superstars.
Oh God, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So Dolph gets on the mic and he's in his hometown, and he basically says, "I kissed Lana, and that's awesome, but you know what? You just made my night. You got a lot of guts saying what you say. I'm gonna give this city a championship right now." And thus began like the colossal bashing of like everybody of Cleveland tonight. You want a challenger? You're looking at him, brother. So we get our next match of the night, which I'll be honest, if you missed anything on the show and this was the match you missed, then you missed out.
I think I know what match you're going to start talking about. I wanted to point out that there was a lot of bashing on Cleveland.
It's cheap heat. It's what you do. You bash on the town that you're in. I mean, that's how heels get heat. I mean, I've done it before.
Yeah, but I think I just think it was a little overdone tonight. Like even JBL did it, and JBL's not a superstar.
Well, I mean, he was, so.
Yeah, he was, but I mean, just on commentary, it makes somewhat sense. But if you keep it going, I get it. The cheap heat. But if I've already heard it like twice or 3 times, then I hear it from JBL, like, oh, this city's never had NBA Finals. Like, I'm just like, okay, like you're kind of making me never want to go to Raw in that city. Ever.
Like when the New Day went off on Ohio State and got tremendous nuclear heat for it.
Mm-hmm.
So we get Kevin Owens against Dolph Ziggler, non-title, because he's like. So Lillian gets in the ring to make the official announcement of the match and gets ready to say it's for the NXT Championship, and Owens stops her dead in his tracks and like, whoa, Blondie, back up there. I didn't say this was for the championship. You're gonna get a match, but it's not gonna be a title match. Yeah, this match was really good. I enjoyed this. This is one of the only segments I enjoyed tonight, honestly, when it comes to wrestling. So when it comes down to it. We come back from commercial break. He charges in for the cannonball. Dolph makes him eat the super kick for a near fall. Goes to the name dropper, gets caught, and powerbomb, transition, sunset flip, 1-2, and a kick out. Name dropper is connected, 1-2, and a kick out. Dolph goes for the big splash in the corner. He misses. Release German suplex. Looked vicious as all get out. Hits the cannonball, and he gets a near fall. Tosses him to the ropes, goes for the pop-up. The leapfrog over, same thing as Cena did on Money in the Bank. And hits the zigzag out of it for a near fall. A boot to the knee and a super kick, toss him off to the ropes, pop-up powerbomb, and Owens wins again. So, enjoyable match. I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the crowd was, going back to Sheamus and Dean Ambrose, I think they were trying to win us over at that because that match was a little lengthy too. But this match was good.
I mean, Ashley, I know you really can't comment on anything, but do you have anything of what we're talking about? Do you have anything to say based upon the last couple segments?
Considering who it was, and the backgrounds that they have, you basically had an indie match on Monday Night Raw.
You pretty much did, honestly.
That's what I would say, to be quite honest, and that sort of thing. I know there's some people that still think that Steen is overrated,
I actually know people personally that think Steen's overrated.
and these are people that even hate Cena. So it's like, well, what are you looking for? You know, a dick on a pole or something, or I don't know.
They want Prince Puma.
Well,
Oh,
Jamie Noble screwed that up.
that is true.
Oh, superstars, the Ascension were in action, but they were in trouble for action, losing, along with Los Matadors, to Rowan and Harper.
Oh, at least Harper Rowan runs Superstars. That's good. They use the 3D again, I'm guessing.
No, all it says is Rowan and Harper won, and Cesaro beat Bo Dallas. And after Raw went off the air, there was a big 8-man tag,
Yeah.
unsurprisingly not with Brock Lesnar, with the faces winning over the heels.
Yeah. That's how it works. Let's talk about the Divas Summit for a minute. Paige is trying to rally the entire Divas locker room. We need to take a stand against the Bellas. And they all question her. It's like, you know what? Maybe I haven't been the best ally, or maybe because I've turned against everybody I've ever worked with, which isn't completely true. Maybe the only reason the Bellas are where they are is because of whom they're married to. Last time I checked, Nikki Bella's never going to see that ring, so I don't know what they're talking about. Watch Total Divas, you know what I'm talking about.
Speaking of Total Divas, I saw the commercial tonight, and the commercial was a preview of the new season, of course. Again, they're just still making Eva Marie sound dumb. Like, you know, because she's like, why the heat?
That's supposed to be a good thing?
Right?
It's getting to the point that Total Divas is basically becoming who's more catty than the other. And I think that the storyline would end up being the entire Divas locker room revolt against the Bellas. And when Paige finally wins the championship, she gets paraded around like she's Lex Luger at SummerSlam 93. Make sense?
So Paige becomes the real American hero. What?
Well, considering the fact that Nikki's using Luger's forearm now, I mean, that works.
And the rack attack.
Oh my God, she is Lex Luger. She even wrestles like him.
You heard it here last.
Nikki Bella is Lex Luger. It is finally set in my head.
Nikki Luger in action tonight.
Nikki Luger. That's what. Yeah, that's great. I did totally completely blacked out the.
You'd have thought if she was on the card, the whole idea of not being able to get a refund would technically be not fair, because technically she does wrestle like John Cena, so technically John Cena wrestled tonight.
Yeah, but she also does like the weird push-ups and the jumping jacks and everything. I mean, she works like a heel, even though WWE is like, you need to cheer for her now. And when she came out, she actually slapped a fan's hand at ringside.
My nickname for her is Nikki Steiner.
She suddenly become face again.
Oh, Jesus. Well, we'll get to that. No worries. Before we go any forward, we actually have a comment in the chat.
Oh, wow.
It said, once Impact goes down, old school will rise. And Eva's fake, though. Be honest, all she cares about is her looks. I think the fact that she is working and training with Brian Kendrick is going to help her out in the long run. It just depends on how much actually wears off on her.
It's gonna help her physically. I mean, you know, we all know she's got the look. She's a very beautiful woman, but it's just like how they present her or how she presents herself, especially on Total Divas. It's just like this girl has no idea what she's doing.
That may be by design too. It's possible that she could be a ringer.
Yeah.
She's like a hustler.
She's Johnny Knoxville.
When do we get ice cream? And that's the only way I'm going to say that line on this podcast. So Naomi takes offense to this. Is like, you ain't bossing me around. So Paige takes a challenge to the Bellas to do a 2-on-1. The Bellas show up, and one by one, everybody leaves. Like, look like you don't have anybody on your side. And they play the whole Mean Girls shtick, and Paige is like, this isn't over. And Nikki sits down and is like, oh, I'm tired. It's tiring being champ. And I'm thinking right now, honestly, I don't know if you agree with me or not, and this is probably going to get a lot of crap when it comes down to it, but I saw a comparison today on Facebook, and I'm going to have to make the comparison. I like the Dollhouse more than I like the Bella Twins.
Oh, of course. By a long shot. The Dollhouse makes sense. Their gimmick is themed. The Bella Twins is not really a themed gimmick. It's just like, it was a cool gimmick at first because they're actually twins, but now it's turned into like they're the Kardashians, even though one's real and one's not.
I don't think she has the dedication. It won't be long until Nikki Bella goes to host a show on television.
Yeah.
That was from the chat.
You were the comparison there of the Doll's House and the sorry, lost track because you blinded me there with science.
I am Thomas Dolby after all.
Saying the which do you prefer, the Bellas or the Dollhouse? That's like saying, do you prefer decapitation or beheading?
Yes, but decapitation and beheading can both be done better.
Yeah, but only one of them figured in Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
did I go in that direction? Wow, it's been a long night.
And then there's the beautiful people, too, which obviously are not together anymore, but when it comes down to it, you cannot leave them out of this conversation when it comes to catty groups in the history of the last several years.
What about the musical Cats? That's pretty catty.
Yeah, so basically...
Midnight.
Yes. The Bells are trying to turn everybody against Paige is pretty much the storyline here. So the thing that jumps to my mind immediately, Paige is going to have backup. The backup will be the 4 horsewomen. Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley.
They got the endorsement by Ric Flair.
They did.
I thought you meant the other 4 horsewomen.
They also got the... because Ric Flair would probably get beaten by them.
I thought that might be the angle to bring Ronda back in for SummerSlam, if they want to do that angle.
I'm telling you right now, Dana is gonna take a lot to get him to budge.
If it means he gets more money, it's gonna happen.
Money talks, man. Seriously, I honestly do think we're gonna see Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania next year.
As long as she, if she wins in 16 seconds again, there's plenty of opportunity for her to just be ready a couple of weeks later for SummerSlam.
Completely, but that requires Dana to give up. Dana's not going to concede that easily, though, Ashley. Money talks.
Technically, he's already conceded about 4 times because of her schedule for the Expendables and all that.
But that's a different story, and Dana has a lot better rapport with Hollywood than he does with Vince.
There clearly must have been some sort of rapport between them, because why else would Brock show up at certain points?
That's a good point. And apparently there's something that may end up being brewing, because I saw a picture today that was tweeted out showing Johnny Laurer at the WWE headquarters.
You mean China?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, uh-oh.
Oh my God.
One day in Stamford.
You know what's? Oh jeez. You know what's next? You know what's next, Aaron. You know exactly what's next. It's Randy Orton versus Kane. This is easy. I won't even talk about this.
Yeah, no,
Kane,
good thing because before you go into it, I mean, is Randy Orton like this week's Roman Reigns, where we have to see him like twice or three times in one night? And yeah, no, just go into it because it gets worse.
well, once again in chat, Will McKettrick is who is chatting. So thank you very much, Will, for joining us in the podcast at like
Hi,
almost one
Will.
o'clock in the morning. It said Rousey.
Then again, why am I?
Yeah, they're like Rousey shall rise again, but it'll cost WWE at least $100,000. I can see that, but I think Dana's gonna ask for a lot more than that.
$500,000.
He's gonna try to get $1 million out of Vince, but I don't think he's gonna. But he might get it for Mania.
As I say, keep in mind, this is 2 weeks after she's fought.
Yeah,
She's already got the pay-per-view money. She might be filming for films anyway
she will be.
for a couple of months at that point, because there's always rumours about the Expendables going back into production.
Mhm.
There's a slot there for her to just do sort of basically be the female Brock Lesnar.
That's pretty much what she's gonna be.
Come in, be the star attraction, and not come back again till Mania.
And make a few appearances on television and make it special, like you said, just like they do with Brock Lesnar all the time.
You can clearly see
yeah,
WWE is trying to get back into the mainstream media again, like they did way back in the day.
yeah, and I think they're succeeding in that. I think they succeeded that tonight, which we'll go into. I think that was the best moment of the show, personally. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Dana White. You would think after that pay-per-view success that she has, you said she's gonna fight a couple weeks before WrestleMania 32.
SummerSlam.
Oh, SummerSlam. Okay, we're talking about SummerSlam. So a couple weeks before SummerSlam this year. You would think as a businessman he would want the money and she would want the extra paycheck at the end of the day.
Also, he might be making so much crazy money off this fight next month between Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo that he might not give a damn.
It's a possibility. It depends on what the gate is.
Yeah.
Or pay-per-view buys.
Considering it's Vegas, and this has had more hype than even the World Heavyweight Championship fight that happened this past weekend got.
Mhm.
I think that might be telling that the marketing is already behind this, and it's probably getting. I think it's the first time in quite a while that Vegas sold out. I think within a few hours.
Yeah, that's a great hotbed for fighting anyway, and always has been. Even back to the boxing fights that Trump would promote.
I just hope that he not thinks about wrestling fans, but just thinks about the attraction that Ronda Rousey versus Stephanie McMahon, or better yet, one of the Bellas, I think, would get, not just for WWE, but for his promotion as well. You might have UFC fans tune into WWE for the first time in a long time or first time ever because they're going to follow whoever's going to be from UFC to WWE to see what they're going to do.
The thing is that
the best thing that Dana could actually do with that is that week, because I think there is a UFC show that week as well. I'm not confirmed because I think they're still working on the schedule for it. But what if that week, all of a sudden, CM Punk made his debut? Dana would screw WWE over, but also get the free publicity for it.
that's what I would do.
Losing money.
That would be a swerve at WWE. It really would be. Kind of like how ROH was supposedly for TNA and Destination America. But
Considering how Dana works, he does like a good swerve.
Mm.
Well, let's talk Randy Orton and Kane now.
Oh, do we have to?
I'll make it real simple. He goes for the snake. He goes for the snake bite DDT. Sheamus powders, and Sheamus comes out, and basically Kane says the rest of the match is no holds barred. Sheamus attacks Orton, hits the brogue kick. Kane gets the pin. Problem solved.
When you said no holds barred, I thought they were going to watch the movie and eat popcorn.
I don't think they would eat anything while they're watching that movie, especially with Stan Hansen and his tobacco.
Well, when Kane said no holds barred, I was like, is that supposed to make this match like special or relevant now?
That means that Randy Orton is free to get kicked by Sheamus and the match can end.
Yeah, like
means it's
that was I think that was the quickest no holds barred match on record.
And Owen still doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
that means it's Kane with a mask.
Then Owen may care.
No, I still, I don't even know if that clip's still on YouTube. That kid marking out to Kane coming out in that mask.
I remember that. So, yeah, when Kane puts the mask back on, it may care a little bit more because that means it's going to be his final run, and I'm going to have to care because it's his last run in the company, but...
I think fans will care a lot more, and they're going to give him one hell of a run. Quite
They
frankly,
will.
Doing it the PG way, because they can't do the stuff that they did with him back in the '90s and early 2000s. It's probably going to be they're going to try to make it his best run.
He still could possibly cost Rollins the title, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, as corporate Kane, not Monster Kane.
No, he would be Monster Kane. That's what makes it even better.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it does make it better, and every time Seth Rollins mentions his family, he always gets like a temper tantrum. We saw that a little bit, if we're not there yet.
You keep poking the bear, and eventually
yeah.
he's going to lash out at you, and that's exactly what they're doing with Kane right now.
Yeah, no, it's going to make sense at the end of the day because right now I just can't picture it. All I'm picturing is corporate Kane with no shirt on, lawn pants, helping Seth Rollins, not a masked Kane with stitched pants.
Now, we're not talking about the deadbeat dad backyarder. We're talking about the big red machine.
Right.
I really wish he put back the old mask on, too, not the new one.
I kind of like the new one.
No.
It's still a Kane. Is that something interesting?
Jeez. So, Kane shows back up in the back. He walks into Rollins and is like, haha, you were my biggest doubter. Like, to be the future, you have to win match after match, night in and night out. And basically, Rollins ends up bringing both Paul Bearer and The Undertaker into this, and he's like, don't you dare talk about my family. It's like, he basically, he goes all Batman there. And Rollins is like, who do you think you are putting your hands on me? Don't you ever touch me again. Is like, you know what? I hope you're my opponent tonight. Hope you're going to be my opponent at Battleground.
No. It's Battlegrounds.
Oh, yeah. The S was added on for some reason. I don't know why they said that way.
Roman Reigns.
God, freaking Aquaman.
Believe that.
Oh, we'll talk about Aquaman in a minute. Don't worry. So we get our next Dusty segment, and this is when he was inducted into the 2007 Hall of Fame. Great segment. Great segment with both Dustin and Cody. And you got to think that the rumor mill is spinning right now, and I'm pretty positive that we've seen the last of Stardust, and when Cody returns to television, he's going to be Cody Rhodes again.
Oh, I mean, it only makes sense. I mean, it may not be like fresh in fans. Well, it may be confusing to fans. Like, wait a minute, we just saw him in the Stardust. What happened to that character? And then they just bring Cody Rhodes out of nowhere with no face paint and no latex, whatever on. But I don't know. They might do that.
He's gonna have a hell of a babyface run for this. Honestly, I really believe that.
He will.
Kind of like with Ray and Eddie.
I honestly think the Cody thing is, Stardust is still going to happen.
Yeah.
If they're still doing the whole Arrow angle thing, after that's done, that angle is going to be retired.
See, that's the reason why you're putting over the fact that I'm not facing Cody Rhodes, as what Stephen Amell said, because he's not going to be himself. He's going to be Arrow, and it's not going to be Cody. It's going to be Stardust. And once that's over, yeah, I can see that we don't have any more Stardust the next night on Raw. That makes sense.
So then, would you obviously it's a couple months away now? Would you book Cody? Would you book Stardust to win or not to win? Because then he has to gain retribution, not as Stardust but as Cody Rhodes now. Like, he would lose the match against Arrow.
Well, he definitely will, without a doubt. But I mean, usually the celebrity wins.
Realizes there's no shame to showing who your true self is, rather than living life under a mask.
Right. It just doesn't work out all the time like that, like with Kane.
I could see him running into Dustin in the back, and basically he's trying to be like, you don't have to do this. You realize you just be yourself. And he's like, I've got to do this. I have to do this for myself. I have to do this for, when he talks about, the Cosmic Key and all the stuff they did when they were trying to win the tag team titles.
Yeah.
I mean, he's trying to do this for himself. He's not trying to do this for Cody. He's trying to do this for Stardust. But when this is over, he's going to snap out of it, and we're going to see the old Cody Rhodes back again.
That would be a great backstage segment before his match at SummerSlam. I kind of really hope that happens. Like
I completely imagine that.
Yeah, you see Dustin without the face paint.
He could actually play a part in the match with Arrow too. I honestly think that could happen too.
Yeah.
So, we get Big Show and The Miz. The Miz, Cleveland, Parma Heights, Ohio, definitely hometown boy. Got a good reaction from the crowd. It's always said, whenever they're in Cleveland, The Miz is a babyface for one night only. And that's exactly what happened. Ryback was on commentary. Ryback on commentary is gold. I love Ryback on commentary.
I mean, the best line of the night was like, "I got Miz all over me." But
No, the best part is when he acknowledged the NXT chants of "Please retire."
Oh, good.
He actually brought that up on commentary, and he's like, "You need to show some positivity." At least they were saying "please." It's like the time to give it up, big man. It's like your time is finished and stuff like that. And
well, Roman Reigns said that definitely, or definitively, I should say, in his promo before he faced Big Show at Extreme Rules, though. He made a big deal out of that. Like, I'm going to punch you, and I'm going to retire you.
That's not going to happen, because it's going to be a three-way feud for the Intercontinental title now. Yeah, I got Miz all over me is basically what ended up happening when Ryback gets the Miz tossed at him. The Miz beats the count.
Funny.
That's it.
That. Yeah.
Miz beats the count and wins the match. Ryback charges the Big Show. It's funny because Big Show is looking, and all of a sudden the fans are chanting "Feed me more" at the top of their lungs. And the Big Show turns around, and he sees Ryback charging, and he bombs out. So
I thought he was going to do the shell shock again.
I think they gave it away once on free television. You're not going to see it any other time unless it's on pay-per-view.
Yeah, you shouldn't. They shouldn't have done it on television last week to begin with.
Okay, let's talk Aquaman, shall we?
Yeah.
Last night was not good. I'm pissed off. Okay.
Believe it.
I'd say let's throw down in the queue, which he's the only person to reference the arena tonight.
Oh,
so
wow.
So Bray, bring your ass out right now. Then we see.
And before, I'm sorry to cut you off, but before Bray showed up on the screen, JBL did say we witnessed one of the most incredible ladder matches last night in Money in the Bank.
I don't know what he's talking about because we didn't watch the same match.
Oh, he's talking about.
I saw Razor and Shawn too. So.
What was that?
Smoking the marijuana.
I really think he was on it tonight.
I saw Razor Shawn too live. I have no idea what he's talking about with the match on Sunday being like something like magnificent.
Good counter.
Yeah, I did. It was awesome. But I also saw Goldberg and Bam Bam Bigelow live too. So
that's awesome.
That was a weird match.
Yeah, sounds weird.
Sold out 99 when Scott Hall came out with the taser. No, it was Goldberg and Hulk, and then it was Bam Bam came out with the taser.
And maybe it was during the next segment. I think Michael Cole also, like, for some reason, before Roman Reigns came out, he was plugging in Tough Enough. When Roman Reigns was walking downstairs, he was plugging in Tough Enough, and he said 41 contestants narrowed down to 13. Wasn't it 40?
I think someone actually got legitimately hurt before they even started anything, so they cut somebody immediately. But I'm not sure on that.
Oh, okay, because I thought that was a Cole mistake again.
There's literally only one indie worker that made it, and the rest of them are a bunch of models and like former like football players and stuff. So they're really trying to like create a new talent out of absolute nothing.
Vince McMahon's dream.
Yeah, I want to see this big guy, and he's gonna come in here, and he's gonna take care of business.
Big Andy.
Oh dear God! Silent Rage has been silenced once and for all. I watched that season the other day on the network because I was bored, and I was like, dear God, he sucked. They missed a golden opportunity. They picked the wrong winner, without a doubt.
And was that fan voting, or that was W officials picking?
Little column A, little column B.
Trust me, if that was fan voting, the person that left after 3 weeks would have won.
He definitely would have won. That's like when TNA did their let's vote to see who gets a world title shot, and like all right away Nigel gets the first shot, and he keeps winning the voting, so they decide they want to stop their voting because he keeps winning. Remember that, Ashley?
Yeah.
when he came in as Desmond Wolfe.
That's the power. That's the power driven. That's the power of the Nigel right there.
And then Nigel fell through the hole, and with Ric Flair. And we don't want to talk. That was just a weird program.
Oh,
Oh God. All right, so Aquaman continues. But first, Bray comes out of the fog, and he says,
man, that was some good marijuana.
"Oh
no,
God."
sorry. Did he say something else?
2 stars will rise, one speaks the truth and one lies. Roman Reigns is the only person in the history of man to actually cut him off in the middle of his promo. It's like, dude, just shut up and get out here now. Well, hello to you, Roman. See, you stole my opportunity. This is literally about the Money in the Bank briefcase. That's what this whole thing's about. Well, partly, at least.
Or
At least
Roman, he put some little passion in his promo tonight. You know, I'm not being critical of him anymore, being too hateful. But yeah, he put some passion in his promo. I think in a couple of lines tonight.
When he's able to be himself, it works a lot better than when he's scripted.
It does, especially like when you're Jeremy Piven, just want to call a pay-per-view by a different name, but this one wasn't as.
Fast.
But this was hilarious. He's like, I don't want to wait till Battlegrounds. Why don't you come out here now? I'm like, Battlegrounds? It was funny.
So he basically says, I could have changed things. I could have changed the world, but you selfishly denied me. It's all about your ego. So you remind me of somebody I knew a long time ago. He was the chosen one. There was another one that was cast aside. They made the wrong choice. See, all of this is no paradise. It is, however, the opposite. See, Roman, I'm the yin to your yang. We need each other.
I thought when he said the word they, he meant the creative team. They got it wrong.
In essence, that could have been true, to be honest. I'd buy that.
And the way that promo sounds, are they making Roman Reigns to be Jesus?
That's exactly what came to my mind when I first heard him say that.
Okay, well, that fatherhood commercial, he's laying on the ground, and he looks like a girl. I'm sorry.
It's seriously Jesus versus. It's seriously the angel and devil. That's exactly what it is. That's what this storyline's about. Bray is literally the demon, and that makes Roman Reigns Jesus.
And that's interesting.
Why did I say that on live television?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, not cheesy in a way, because the last time we kind of got that kind of storyline was, if I'm not mistaken, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker back in 2007.
God, that's when Vince had to face God?
Yeah.
Oh my, I don't want to think about that.
Strike me down! Strike me!
I will tempt you, I will lie to you, I will haunt you, and I will destroy you.
I'm going to beat your favorite superstar, HBK! That was hilarious.
What example would I set with Father's Day around the corner? And he shows the picture from the commercial of Roman sitting with his daughter, and he starts very sadistically and very slowly singing I'm a Little Teapot, which is from the commercial.
And Bray Wyatt singing it is just creepier. Like, it turns the commercial into, like, happy into just creepy, and that's what Bray Wyatt does. But anytime he sings, but he should audition for American Idol. But just kidding. He should. I'm feeling as if we're gonna have Bray Wyatt holding his daughter captive.
I don't think we're going that far. It's 2015. I don't see that happening.
I know, but in the Attitude Era, wouldn't we see that?
In the Attitude Era, Harper and Rowan would go to his house and kidnap her.
Yeah, see, I mean, it'd just be great. I'd be shocked if it happened. Because, you said it's 2015, but yeah, they should do it.
And he ends the promo with patience. Our fun is just getting started. Run. I like this because right away this is putting emphasis on this program, not that it's something that's just a throwaway. This actually is going to mean something.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like the first promo, it's already gotten personal.
And that's how it needs to be.
I don't like the patience angle. I prefer calling it solitaire.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Rowan playing solitaire with the sheep mask on. I totally can imagine that vignette.
Make it happen, WWE. Because you clearly can't be bothered to use them if you're sticking them on superstars. Ugh.
So yeah, that was I like the way the direction this is going right away. It already has a point. It's got 2 points. Number one, it's all about the fact that Bray should have been in Money in the Bank, and he stole his opportunity by beating him, which Bray wasn't in the match, but if Bray beat Roman Reigns, he would have got that opportunity, and Bray sees it that way. So it's not just I'm the face of fear. It's basically now it's like you took my opportunity, so now I'm going to take your daughter away. This is brilliant booking right here. I really like this a lot. I love the direction this is headed because it actually gives Bray Wyatt a point for a change. Thoughts?
It was great.
Because everyone stopped talking right away for some reason. I'm still
Oh
not.
no. It was. Well, yes, we did, but but it was a great. Like I said before, it was just. Just want to reiterate. This is how. You should book rivalries. Make it personal already. It took a talking about TNA. It took a little bit of time to make things personal between Bram and Magnus, which I enjoy. No, not Bram Magnus. I'm talking about Cowboy James.
Cowboy James Storm and Magnus.
Yeah.
I love that program, but the problem is Ashley would know real quick that it hits a little too close to home. It's a lot harder for me to talk about.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of reminds me that took a little time to build up, but this Bray Wyatt jumped right into the fire. You know what I mean? He just made things personal right off the bat. At Battleground, it's gonna be a one-on-one match. Something tells me it will be like a stipulation match, but
no, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. It will be.
I think it's no. I think we're looking at if you're looking at your stip match. I think that's SummerSlam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, this definitely needs to go through SummerSlam. Absolutely.
Perhaps it goes to Night of Champions.
You shouldn't have used "I'm a Little Teapot," to be honest.
That was the song that was in the commercial, so that it makes more sense that he used it.
Yeah, but Talking Ahead, Psycho Killer would make more sense.
Yeah, but
the last line of the chorus is "Run Away."
Oh.
Let's talk about the Bellas versus Paige. Bellas collide. Paige throws Brie into Nikki. Rampage. Nikki makes the save. Nikki tags in. She hits her Lex Luger forearm, locks her in the rack, and she drops. And that's it.
And I swear Vince McMahon is just like telling JBL every week in the ear, saying, start talking nonstop about Bellas.
So yeah, that happened, and obviously we're building towards Paige getting a little NXT help to fend off the Bellas. I can see that. It's funny because if this was like fantasy booking and like there was no grounding in reality, this would have been when AJ showed up.
Or Charlotte. People were hoping for Charlotte.
No, this would have been AJ's spot if this was not grounded in reality at all, because they set it up perfectly. Or Kong
is teasing her followers every week. She's obviously traveling with them on the road. She's done a few house shows already, I think, and she's still doing NXT. So she's quite the busybody. But when she travels with them, she's always posting a picture of herself in the gym in the same city that they're at for Raw, and she's been doing that for the past month. It's driving me insane, but it's great because you don't know when she's gonna debut.
I really don't. At this point, I don't think that you bring anybody from NXT up until you get the title off the Bellas. Unless the person that's going to be brought up is the one who takes the title off the Bellas. And I think they've built up Paige to be the one that takes the title off Nikki.
Sasha?
It's going to be a while, man.
I know.
You don't need to take people off NXT because eventually you're not going to have anybody on NXT left.
Well, I mean, were you thinking the same thing as you are now with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, though? Or they needed to go main roster television? Sami Zayn just had bad luck. But did Kevin Owens need to go? Because he went pretty quickly.
Some people don't really need to go to NXT right away, but I think for a gimmick when it comes down to it, some people are more suited for NXT.
Oh, you mean more suited for WWE? Because I'm talking about like when Kevin Owens and Neville got called up.
No, they're more suited for NXT.
Oh, okay, they're more suited for NXT. Okay, got you.
You don't necessarily need to bring people up because if you keep bringing people up, and eventually NXT is going to get to the point that they're not going to have a next generation.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the big problem in the long run.
It might be, but as long as they keep pumping in these people and they're training them hard at the performance center, and then you introduce like I said a couple of podcasts before, the next Sami Zayn, next Kevin Owens, it could work. But I see what you're saying, because you do want to keep NXT separate, because it really is its own standalone brand. It's no longer, it's long gone from being the developmental brand.
NXT by and large is NXT is easily a competition for SmackDown, without a doubt. And on most nights, it has better wrestling than Raw.
Yes, so it's a competition for both, and for pay-per-views as well. Like a 3-hour pay-per-view can suck balls, instead of one match. But when you watch NXT Takeover that week, or let alone the next week, they kill it.
That helped. It really did. Yeah, like I think that they're building to that. It makes sense to me. So, the only reason I'm going to talk about this is because of what happened afterwards, because it was glorious. Ashley, have you started watching yet at this point in the show?
What was this?
We're after Paige against the Bellas.
So what came after?
The unneeded musical performance.
Oh, I didn't go to this.
You didn't see this?
No, about this time they're announcing more crazy stuff on the Sony conference still.
Okay, so let me get to this. So I'm guessing you picked up for the New Day against Neville and the Primetime Players.
I caught the tail end of that, yes. But
Okay.
thanks to the endless replays at WWE show, I have seen the moment in question.
Okay. So
Watching question thanks to MGK.
oh, that guy's a. So they bring out Machine Gun Kelly, and he was the guy that really screwed up WrestleMania, and the performance with what's her name, Skylar Aston and Travis Barker and Travie McCoy, I think maybe was a part of it. I'm not positive on this, obviously. Change the music. I know Travis Barker was a part of it because I remember he played drums on it, but I don't remember. MGK was part of it.
Didn't the backup singer tonight look somewhat like JoJo?
You're not the only one that thought that, but this girl really needs to learn breathing exercises. When you first learn how to sing, you need to learn how to breathe properly because she was all over the place.
He was really bad.
This performance sucked. The song was believable, and the song is a genuine song. But I mean, the guy's basically like a third-rate wannabe Macklemore.
Yeah.
And I like Macklemore, so that's not going to work for me. So he comes out and he performs after the match. After this is over, it's finally said and done.
Oh yeah. Well, before we get into that, because that was the best moment of the night, I can't wait to give my reaction for it. He must have not liked the camera guy, because he pushed him away, and then the camera guy kept following him.
He's probably not used to actually having a camera at his venue when he's doing his performances, because a lot of artists really don't like that.
Macklemore sounds like something that you do at Golden Arches.
Oh God.
And again, if you misinterpret it could be Macklemore.
Oh God, Michael Cole. No more Michael Cole. Okay, so after the performance is over, Kevin Owens shows up. He's applauding, and Machine Gun Kelly looks at him and goes to extend his hand. And I think Kevin Owens had like a war flashback, and handshake equals death. So he basically Eric Bischoffs him off the stage.
Eric Bischoff's. No, it was funny though, because when he kicked them, he must have kicked him really good, or MGK oversold it because he completely fell over.
No, he sucks at selling because
Yeah, it was
when he
terrible.
gets power bombed off the stage and he is laying and all his his boys go get him out and everything and they bring him back, he's selling for 2 seconds and he helps him up and they don't stretcher him out. They should have done that. They didn't.
I liked this moment overall because I was shocked. It was totally unexpected. No spoiler about that. We knew MGK was advertised. But when it happened, it was like a giant pillow he landed on.
Yeah, it looked like an airbag, honestly. I mean, why couldn't they have done that when Ken Jeong was on the show? I mean, I totally would have dug that a lot more.
They should have done it when Entourage was on the show. Just kidding.
No, they're fine.
Just kidding.
But Ken Jeong, yeah, that should have happened when they were promoting the goods. Back when Jeremy Piven referred to it as Summerfest.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Which person? Yep.
Yeah, this I like this because it's nice actually getting the person involved, and when someone actually, I mean, say what you want about his music, the song was heartfelt. I'll give him that. But and I do like rap music, but when it comes down to it, this was basically unneeded, and it basically took some people off the show that should have been on there tonight. Cesaro. But when it all boils down to is obviously it's about the fact he's a hometown boy. They thought he'd get a good reaction. I saw a lot of people. You notice there was not a lot of crowd shots during this because I'm positive this was people's like time for bathroom merchants and food and beverage.
Yeah, a lot of people actually tweeted that on Twitter, and
They
so
got
probably just like keep the camera on him and keep the pyro going off.
they got really mad probably because they had to wait till 10:30. It's like I haven't taken a bathroom break all night. It's like can he come out so I can go to the bathroom, please? I mean, I got to do a merch line and everything. I know it's going to be busy, but I got to get some merch.
Well, that's true because like if you've gone to a Raw taping, which I'm pretty sure like most of us have on the panel, you know, you go through Superstars taping,
Yep.
and then you go through Raw, so it's kind of like 4 hours almost.
Then there's the dark match, and then there's the let's run to the box office to make sure that we get tickets for the next night.
Yeah.
The next time they're going to be in town. Which, by the way, if anybody was listening, WWE returns to Columbus on July 18th, so they're going to be back for Raw.
That is soon. That is soon.
No, I didn't say. Did I say July 18th?
Yeah.
It's 1:30 in the morning. Give me a break. It is not July 18th. It is January 18th. So it's going to be the build-up for the Royal Rumble.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. It was a great crowd for Money in the Bank. But
That's still not that far away.
January 18th isn't that far away. Could be 2018.
Yeah, it's going to be it's either the night after the Royal Rumble or the go-home show for the Royal Rumble.
Probably the go-home show for Royal Rumble because, like, if the Royal Rumble... Oh, you said that could be the...
I'm looking at the schedule right now, and that would mean the Royal Rumble's either going to be on the 17th or the 24th next year.
24th seems more understandable than the 17th. 17 sounds a little too early. Know what I mean?
No, not really. They could do it. Honestly, it's the third in a month, so sometimes they don't do it the last week. It just depends. This month's not the last week.
Yeah. And Orlando could be hosting Royal Rumble.
They are.
Oh, well, I'm gonna wait till it's officially announced. I'm saving for that too. Another way.
Royal Rumble coming to Orlando at the Amway Arena on January 18th
But
January next year.
They did announce it.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know they announced it.
And I freaking spread the word like mad on Twitter too.
Wow, I thought they would have announced it like on pay-per-view, like you know how Mike Cole plugs in pay-per-views months in advance saying tickets are on sale now. So they just announced it, but
I wouldn't do it yet.
Yeah.
And it's January after all.
Oh, true. I just didn't know they officially announced it. And yeah, you're right. It should have been all over their social media because Orlando is one of their favorite cities, and Orlando hasn't hosted a pay-per-view inside an arena since early 2000s.
There is a house show that's booked for the 29th of August. I'm going to guess that's when they're going to go on sale.
Right.
That night after the show's over, I'm going to guess there's going to be a pre-sale, and then they'll probably go on sale that Friday. That's my guess.
Makes sense.
Makes sense to me, too. New Day! 6-man tag action. Speaking of Orlando, still wearing their Orlando City gear. And
do you want to hear a spoiler about Tough Enough, or are you going to watch Tough Enough regularly?
I'll watch Tough Enough.
Do you want to hear the spoiler?
Go ahead.
I think they started taping it, so like
they have.
Yeah, they have an official channel on Vine, WWE Tough Enough or just Tough Enough. It'll come up, and Lita is training the 13 contestants, and they're on the field of the new Citrus Bowl training.
I saw that picture actually already.
It's awesome. That's so cool. WrestleMania return imminent.
Eventually.
Yeah, it will happen.
So, New Day facing off against Adrian Neville and the Primetime Players, which marks the only time... It's funny because PTP used to wear purple all the time, and the one time that they're wearing the black gear now is when everybody in the match other than them is wearing purple. Seriously, everybody in this match is wearing purple.
POP.
Oh, don't even start that. Stop ripping them. Yeah, okay, maybe I'll take it as an homage because I keep bringing up the fact on Twitter that they're wearing the Orlando City gear. I did get reference for that, so I mean it's possible that's a shoot on me.
Oh wow! I just realized what POP was.
Yeah, it's the name of the channel you're currently on.
That's awesome. It's like POP.
Power of positivity. It's called Pop for a reason.
That's cool.
So yeah, they do a little like superstars, like old school WWF style promo when they mock the New Age Outlaws, but kind of lovingly. And then they end it with the millions of dollars, and they do the primetime players chant to the New Day clap style. This match was good, but it was too short. I understand why it went as short as it did.
Right.
It ends up going to the finish. Kofi, of course, selling the ribs from last night. Obviously, he got powerbombed on the ladder, and then he got a guy powerbombed onto him while he was on the ladder. So, there you go. The inverted suplex, tagging to Darren Young. He comes in, he hits the gut check on Kofi, tags Neville, and he hits the Red Arrow match over. It was good. Good for what it was. Too short, but, I mean, it was your real main event of the night. Ambrose and Kane are in the back. Ambrose is throwing darts at a dartboard. He won't stop laughing. Kane's like, what do you find so funny? He's like, I'm imagining you as World Heavyweight Champion.
And you can hear him chew that food loud.
Yeah, and he's like, honestly, don't forget, I was World Heavyweight Champion before. You weren't. And he's like, well, you weren't champion. A monster was. A demon was. A guy that likes to eviscerate people was. And then, of course, this brings Kane up one more time to go after and get all defensive and everything. We're building a very slow burn, pun not intended, for the Kane babyface run, for the final run. I think it's probably going to be over by WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, it makes sense. What was I going to say about Kane? Oh yeah, he wasn't really fired up in this segment than he was with Seth Rollins.
He wasn't.
Okay, you don't have to do it every time. When you do it, it gets interesting. It's like, you're on your phone, but when he gets that way, you're off your phone. You're like, uh-oh, things getting interesting.
Well, I'll be honest with you right now. At this point in the show, I didn't say I really tuned out and I didn't turn it off, but it became kind of like a secondary pop to me at the time. So if I get anything wrong here, please let me know and correct me. The authority come out and they basically apologize for Kevin Owens' attack on Machine Gun Kelly, and they said basically he'll be dealt with. We'll see what happens there.
Oh, what, the same way like Lesnar?
Yeah. He calls out Seth Rollins, and basically Rollins is going to get his announcement of who he's going to face at Battleground. It's not going to be J&J, it's not going to be Ambrose, it's not going to be Kane, but it will be somebody picked tonight. The authority start to doubt Seth Rollins. They're basically like, you know what, maybe we were wrong. Maybe we put so much stock in you that maybe we made the wrong decision. Maybe we picked the wrong golden boy here. Maybe you're not as good as you think you are. And basically putting a lot of doubt in his mind. So eventually they do bring out the challenger, and lo and behold, to no one's surprise, it is the returning Brock Lesnar.
And again, it was kind of like with the Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt rivalry, which kind of kickstarted at Money in the Bank, but it was just you jumped right into it. You didn't have Paul Heyman come out with the microphone, because we all know he doesn't have his own entrance music, which he doesn't need it. He just needs a microphone. And then Brock Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman right behind him. That's all he needed.
It's very true. I mean, everybody knew that Brock was coming back, and there was a lot of rumors that Brock was going to return on Raw next week. I know that his updated schedule that was posted earlier today was saying that he's going to return next week, but he obviously is going to build to a match at Battleground, so why would you return 4 weeks when he can return 5 weeks going into the pay-per-view? So they're not doing Brock and Rollins at SummerSlam, which is what everybody thought they were going to do. They're going to do it at Battleground instead. And kudos to WWE for jumping on a money grab and using the Suplex City population Cleveland, Ohio shirt that was available for tonight. If you go to shop right now, you can actually buy it right now. If you weren't at the building, you can feel like you were.
Oh, so it's not a shirt they're actually going to sell on the road. I thought that was actually his new shirt.
He'll have it. It'll basically be like the old. You remember the old NWO Wolfpack shirts, the red and black ones?
Somewhat. I mean, I know the NWO logo, but I may not know those shirts exactly.
If you went to house shows, there was a time during the red and black era that they would had a shirt with a like paw print on the back that said "Pack into House," and that was the shirt that you could get on like the WCW shop online.
Oh,
But if you actually went to a house show, it said "Pack into House," and underneath it, it said the location, the venue that you were currently in. Like when I went to Sold Out in '99, that's what it said: "Pack into House, Charleston, West Virginia." So.
wow. That's a cool catch. Play on words. Pack in the house. What was the website domain for WCW merchandise?
Oh God, WCW. It was WCW.com, and I don't remember their merchandise site off the top of my head.
Uh,
Honestly, Ashley, do you recall?
Uh, no.
Because if it was the same as Shop TNA, then fans would be like, oh, it's the same as WCW. So
Like
that's
it's basically they did like an official merchandise catalog, and it was also included in the WCW magazine.
that's cool.
So it was the WCW catalog, and then it became the WCW NWO merchandise catalog, and it would be inside the WCW magazine. Or before that, it was in the wrestling wrap up you would get when you go to house shows.
Oh,
Aha, I remember things. Because I'm a WCW guy, and I always will be. So there you go.
cool.
And real quick, before we get into the end of this segment, I do want to mention a quick shout out to Acer for putting over the podcast on Twitter.
Oh, where's the tweet? You want to retweet it?
He's basically putting over the fact that we are live right now and put over the website for your wrestling needs. So thank you, Acer. 100% agreed for
Oh,
you promoting us. Thank you very much.
yeah, thanks, man. Retweet it so I can favorite it. That way I can see it.
I will be totally honest with you. When it comes down to it, I see everybody favorite tweets all the time. I have favorited literally one tweet in my life.
That's insane. I don't believe that.
No, if you go there right now, you'll see that I have favorited one exact tweet in my life.
Of mine, or just like in your Twitter account?
In my Twitter account.
Oh, okay. That's
It is a picture of Teller in the bathrooms outside of Kali River Rapids at Animal Kingdom. That it says, "You will get wet, you may get soaked. Truth in advertising from the Kali River raft ride at Animal Kingdom."
Well,
And it's a picture of a very drenched Teller in the bathroom.
what is the guy's handle? I'm actually on the laptop. I'm being lazy. I'm telling you to retweet it. I'm on Twitter right now. What is the guy's handle?
It is Acer1337.
Oh, okay. I think I may be following him. No, I'm not. It seems like
And Ashley knows Acer from SNS, so.
that's cool. From Canada. Woohoo!
So, yeah, basically Brock comes out, they have a stare down, and Rollins runs like he saw a ghost. And it's great because when Heyman comes out, he actually shakes hands with Stephanie and Triple H both, so you know this isn't going to bode well for the champion.
Right.
Because he basically got taken out via a suspension, and now he's shaking hands with the boss. So, obviously, this is not going to bode too well for Seth Rollins.
Not one bit.
And I've seen the very, very fake picture that exists of the SummerSlam cover being Brock versus Roman, which is something they've been talking about doing. But,
Does it look fake?
It's definitely fake.
Wow.
But like I said last night, when it comes to the Money in the Bank podcast, just because it's fake doesn't mean they can't still do that match without a title on the line. It doesn't have to have a title.
That's true. Yeah, you said that last night. Just the two facing each other is a special attraction in itself, a marquee matchup, and Machine Gun Kelly, I think, just started trending.
Why in the heck did that happen?
Well, he did get power bombed after Kevin Owens, so.
Well, that's the only reason it'd be trending.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Yeah, it says that. And
So yeah, we're building Battleground now. We're starting
Oh, that's good.
the setup for Battleground. Obviously, we've got Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. We've got Seth Rollins taking on Brock Lesnar. I'm sure we're going to get the New Day rematch with the Primetime Players. There's obviously Ryback, The Big Show, and The Miz three-way for the Intercontinental title. You know, honestly, at this point, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if Cena takes this pay-per-view off to sell the injury.
He could. I mean, when you think about it, it was pretty. Well, just look at what happened to Sami Zayn and Neville. It's pretty bad. So of course you have to put timeout. Sit timeout.
I don't think that we're doing Cena and Owens 3 at a throwaway pay-per-view like Battleground. I think they wait till SummerSlam.
I mean, even though Cena versus Owens is a true battle and Battleground makes sense for marketing purposes, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins is just, a step higher than Cena and Owens. Cena and Owens and Brock Lesnar and Roman, you could have a very stellar SummerSlam double main event.
Yeah, without a doubt you can. And, I mean, look at it from this perspective. You want to do the match at Battleground, you do the rematch with Finn Balor. Because obviously you have the match at Battleground after either Balor wins the title in Japan, or Owens retains and Balor catches him on an off day and he wins the title at Battleground.
Oh, actually defend the NXT Championship on the WWE pay-per-view.
Which will eventually happen. I just don't know if it's this early, but it does make sense if you really think about it from that perspective.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was this early. I mean, NXT's on fire.
And the Triple H talked about it last year, and I think that we do see NXT involvement at WrestleMania 32.
Yep.
Ashley, thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's possible. We're just trying to check who's on the Battleground poster.
I haven't seen that one yet, actually. I don't know.
There isn't a Battleground poster.
Ah, that's
There
why I
isn't.
haven't seen it.
There isn't a poster?
Nope.
What?
Yet.
The rather interesting thing, though, of course, is the SummerSlam poster features Roman Reigns.
It's
and
a,
Brock
you mean
Lesnar.
that's a fake poster, though.
I don't care. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to have a title on the line.
I think logically it has to, because then you can have the whole Triple H angle.
No, as of right now, the way that they're planning, at least at this moment, is they're going to do Rollins and Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then do Brock and Roman. They don't need to have a title because obviously they have heat with each other, so they want to see who's the bigger badass is basically what they're building towards. They don't have to have a championship on the line to make that match matter.
Whoa.
And this time Roman gets the job done, which is what would build him for the remainder of 2016 until 2016. And get him to the place that they want him to be. But I still think there's a good chance they could turn him heel eventually.
Oh, Roman?
They're really building it right now.
Oh, yeah, no, Roman would make a good heel. I think that's what his character needs. Oh, I see the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar poster now. Yeah, no, that looks fake.
Yeah, but it is something that could conceivably happen, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, it looks fake because of the logo. Like, is the SummerSlam logo going to change?
I think it's going to stick with the same logo they've had since they've been doing it in Cali.
I mean, it just seems like an action blockbuster. Watch SummerSlam. I mean,
that's the logo they used when they were promoting it originally.
If it ain't broke, don't break it.
Yeah, it's a different logo this year, obviously, because it's got the New York, New Jersey background and everything, and it's not obviously the. Let's look at the LA style logo that we've had for the last previous years.
Oh, it's nice. I just noticed the change, and if that's really the logo, yeah, it's definitely nice with the.
Oh, it is because it's already been on WWE television.
Mm.
So that's what we've got this week. Like I said, a little bit of a more muted version of the podcast tonight, but really there's not much to talk about. Ashley's busy with E3. Aaron and I are both kind of dumbfounded about how many commercials we had tonight. It really wasn't much to talk about, honestly.
God, I mean, like 2 commercial breaks during the opener.
Oh, I know, it was ridiculous.
The opening segment. You cut your champion off, or when he was about to talk.
It was smart to go to commercial break and then come back, and Ambrose is still in the ring now. I thought that was done well.
That worked, but not Rollins. And then they cut off JBL too.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, it's funny.
I'm sort of wondering whether they did it on purpose.
Possibly.
All these.
Tonight was Game 6 of the Stanley Cup.
I don't know.
They were literally going head-to-head with an ice hockey game, which, if Chicago won, and I need to check the results whether they did, Chicago won the title. Basically, if Chicago did win, which they have done, they'd win the championship, so, that's over. So they already knew the likelihood was they were going to struggle anyway, which might explain why they went on a more ad-heavy route. One, to rest up the guys before the next week of shows and whatever.
Yeah, but wouldn't as a wrestling fan, or a television viewer, wouldn't you tune out because it's just so many commercials?
Possibly, but also the key problem is CM Punk fans and Hulk Hogan fans were more interested in the ice hockey apparently. Or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's a silly feud, I would say. It was kind of silly. But we want the cup. We want the cup. Oh, that.
Totally not in this conversation whatsoever.
No, it was cool to see CM Punk in that video, but it was just like what he was feuding Hogan over was a little petty. I mean, you said a person's name wrong. Hogan's been dropped on his head a lot of times. He said the Superdome or Silver Dome. So I understand when he makes the mistakes. We make fun of him for it. He thinks it's funny, but really over a name though.
I'm still looking at the fact that if you look at the Google for this, if you look at the actual video itself, it says Mr. Ashley. That makes me laugh.
Oh my word.
So that's what we've got for this week. Obviously, we begin our 5-week build-up to our next pay-per-view, which is going to be Battleground. St. Louis, Missouri. We're in Randy Orton country, so I'm sure we're going to get another Randy Orton-Sheamus match. I don't think Sheamus is going to have the case very long. Whether win or lose, I don't think he'll have the briefcase very long.
So that means we're going to have Sheamus and Randy Orton for over a month until Battleground.
God, I hope not.
No, that's what's going to happen. You didn't jinx it. It's going to happen anyway, at Battleground. But we're literally going to have them every week on Raw.
I will say right now that the matches were really, really, really getting tedious. But when they actually kick into high gear, and I know they start fighting on the ground, they start using it's more of an aggressive style. It somewhat works a bit more, but it's still really really recycled.
Yeah, it's not only recycled, but do you have to brawl every time you guys face each other, whether it's a match or not a match?
Would you rather them wrestle? I wouldn't.
I mean, but
they
brawl
need to
every
fight
time,
because it fits the storyline, though. They're needing to fight each other to prove their dominance.
Yeah, but I mean, I just don't want to see brawling every week because there's only so much you can do with brawling. 1 week you could bro kick Randy Orton over the announcer's table or the barricade. Don't go into the audience until Battleground. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? There's ways to change it up when you're brawling. When you're talking about Randy Orton and Kane. I mean Randy Orton and Sheamus.
So that's what we've got for this week. Once again, thank you for joining us in chat. We appreciate Will McKettrick and Acer for joining us in chat, and we appreciate the put over on Twitter. If you like what you're hearing, get the word out. We're a little bit more unconventional than most podcasts are. And for those of you that don't understand the whole why we call this a popcast instead of a podcast, and that may throw people off, don't worry. It's just the name of the channel, and it's still the same wrestling podcast we're used to hearing. It's just different brand. But I know I take a lot of different paths when it comes to doing the match reviews than most people do. But if you're enjoying it, then please spread the word about it. We're trying to get notice here and get people to keep watching these podcasts. They're doing great on this channel, so keep them coming. Keep these views coming, and keep your friends coming if you like what you hear. So if you don't like what you hear, then we may not be your cup of tea, but maybe we're your friend's cup of tea. You never know. You never know who's gonna like this podcast. So
yeah, and also invite your friends over for a viewing party for Raw, and then turn it into a listening party. Be great.
Yeah, totally. There's a lot of podcasts right now when it comes to wrestling, and there's anybody that has a camera and a microphone, they can talk wrestling. And I mean, we're just sitting here chatting about wrestling for 2 hours on a Monday night or now Tuesday morning, and it's kind of like, thank you for picking us out of all the other podcasts you could be listening to right now. So we appreciate that 100%.
Now we're like the super late night edition.
We had a fair amount of viewers, I think, and also was somewhat active. And Acer, he said it best, and just going, expanding on what Suro and Disney said. There's a lot of wrestling content on this channel, and Acer said it best. This really should be your resource for wrestling, because we're trying to cover as much wrestling as possible and talk much as possible, because the industry is booming, which is good for you fans and good for us.
Indeed it is, and it's got me out of my exile of watching WWE, and after WrestleMania, I got back in, and I haven't looked back since. I haven't decided to be like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I've decided to just do these podcasts on the regular, and even if it's a crappy show, it's still fun to talk with you guys as well.
Exactly. Likewise.
Ashley, thoughts?
I didn't want to fall asleep.
Yeah, oh God.
I'm astounded by something that got revealed at Sony, a Kickstarter, in the space of...
It's still trending on Twitter. I think I know what you're talking about. Is it Uncharted?
4 hours, it's raised $1.2 million. Sorry, 1.3. I take it back. It's just changed.
That's unbelievable. I heard a lot of chatter about that on Twitter. Like, the tweets are funny. They were like, "What the freak? This game is awesome."
That happened about 17 times during that conference.
Alrighty, so that's what we've got. And Ashley, you will be bringing Gaming with Ash back on Saturday this coming week?
Yeah. I think, in terms of everything, I think it has to be the moment, the 90, it's going to be focusing, I think, solely on Sony, and the 90 minutes that changed social media.
Alrighty, you have that to look forward to. And also, if you want to check out Ashley's thoughts a little prematurely on other things involving gaming the world right now, he has a brand new Sticks and Flicks that was released earlier today, and you can check that out on the SNS Radio Network.
I'm doing reactions to all the shows, including the Sony one that will be coming up pretty much soon after this is done. The video will probably be filmed Friday or Saturday and will be put up. If it has to go up very late into a Sunday, you get 2 videos that day. Whatever it is, I sort of want it to be at a point where I've calmed down and relaxed and seen Mad Max.
There you go.
And come to terms with the fact that what actually happened here that made Twitter lose its pants its underwear, and its bodily functions.
All right. So Acer says it's a win-win for fans involved. That's for sure. Anytime, guys. 2 hours of shooting the you-know-what, discussing some professional wrestling. Shenmue 3 is on a roll right now. Ha ha.
Yeah, that's a great comment. But yeah, no, he's like I said before, he said it best. That's what we're doing. Guys, we're basically talking professional wrestling as we would if we weren't on YouTube talking about it. Like,
Totally.
that's what's different about our podcast. I listen to the podcast, but actually watch the videos of them on AfterBuzz TV and listen to others, and they kind of really don't have what we have. That's not saying something because I'm part of Pop, but it's kind of true. We're a little bit more real and laid back when we're talking WWE.
And sometimes we fall asleep on camera, right, Ashley?
I've just realised I'm going to be extra busy Friday. Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Ooh.
I just have dope on Friday.
Yeah.
And then Inside Out on Thursday.
No, but Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
That's true.
Might be interesting to see what, although it will take a while for the figures to come out, how that does compared to Slammiversary.
We shall see.
And again, Ring of Honor is on the flip side. Oh!
God. That's
And
why.
it's actually live. Just kidding. Just kidding.
So that's what we've got for this week. As always, once again, Ashley, thank you for joining us from your gaming exile this weekend.
The exile continues in
No lie.
about 8 hours from now.
That's what I heard.
Damn it, Nintendo and your digital videos.
And we will welcome Gaming with Ash back with open arms on Saturday. Obviously, you'll get that video out on Saturday some point during the day. Saturday, AJ and myself are going to go watch... Actually, no, it's not Saturday. Yeah, it is. Saturday, AJ and myself are going to go watch Jaws theatrically.
Oh, one of the Fathom events, I think.
Yes.
Awesome.
We love us some Fathom events, especially. That's 40 minutes away, and it's so worth it.
Sorry.
And then Some Like It Hot the next weekend. We're going to be watching that on that Sunday.
They got a good lineup of classic movies, and I love the Fathom events too. I've seen a couple of musicals on the big screen because of them.
We watched Singing in the Rain, we watched Sound of Music, we watched Casablanca, we've watched the Frankenstein movies, we've watched a lot of really awesome things theatrically that we never would have seen otherwise. And I love Fathom events. I definitely would put them over day in and day out if I could.
I see them on the big screen. Hey, tweet them. They do tweet back. They're awesome.
Oh, I do. No worries. So, yeah, because I'm trying to get Gone with the Wind.
And thinking of Existence.
Huh?
Did you watch A Pigeon Sat on a Park Bench Dreaming of Existence?
No.
I think that, and unless I've got the title wrong, that is what the title of the film is.
That's not surprising. They have weird titles for movies now.
It's very existential.
Of course it is. Which means AJ would absolutely love it. We still get heat for that kind of stuff. But that's what we've got for this week. Quick programming note for Pop. We've got NXT and Impact coming up tomorrow. More Horror Nights news when I get some. Sounds like I'm going to be doing a podcast very soon, Horror Nights related. Aaron, you'll probably be joining me on that one, along with the members of the Horror Nights Updaters, Tristan and James as well. So we'll have a full dance card on the HHN Popcast.
Is that going to be like one that's like promoted on YouTube, like 8 Horror Nights Updaters, or our Popcast?
There's only Popcast and podcasts, so yes, it will be a Popcast. I will be joining the Horror Nights Updaters very soon as well, and I'll get you guys the information when I know exactly when that's going to happen.
That's what I meant, because that was fun.
Yeah, those are always.
To it. That was fun.
Oh, those are always a blast. Hopefully that'll be a lot more frequent, if you know what I mean, very soon. That would be great. The thing about that is obviously I'm doing a podcast with First Class Horror that's coming up on Wednesday. Don't have any further information on that, but once I get some, I'll tweet it out to you guys. Of course, you can tweet me at Sir Owen Disney, and you can find out all the information that way. While you're at it, go to Facebook, click a like on our Facebook fan page. It's under Sir Owen Disney Pop, or Sir Owen Disney and Pop if you want to search for it manually. And also, while you're there, you're more than welcome to friend request me at Owen Disney. And real quick, before I finish this, obviously, Ashley can be found on the Twitters at Ash is my name UK.
Why did you say that? The Twitters.
The Twitters. I said it last night like that too.
Yeah, he did. I was laughing.
The fire-breathing Twitter machine, and you can also email Ashley if you'd like to as well. Ashley, what is that official email?
Sticks@snsradionetwork.com. Maybe
Eric-
video game stuff.
I'm gonna
If you are
ban
some
you.
sort of African prince willing to offer me money, I only take American Express.
Here we go again. I know it. I understood that reference, so there you go.
Well, no, it's because I've actually been getting emails from that.
So have I.
Everybody that signed up to the whole London 2012 support thing back from 2005, I think is still getting scam emails.
I think Burkina Faso keeps sending me messages every once in a while, too.
I blame FIFA.
And yes, you did. So,
Jared Deppard, you plonker. Anyway.
So, Aaron, you have a plethora of ways to be gotten a hold of on social media. Rattle them off for the viewers, shall you?
Yes, but I go through it fast. Great.
Yes.
Facebook at Mr. Entertainment92, also on Instagram. Twitter at Mr. ENT92, and Mr. Entertainment on Vine, Livestream, and Wrestling Amino. Thanks for everyone who's following me.
Snapchat?
No, I didn't know how to work it, so I deleted the app.
I've got Snapchat, but it's only for a select few.
You want to know how to Snapchat?
Acer gets it. The Twitter machine's in the chat room. Yeah, how to Snapchat?
Aaron?
Uh-huh.
You just Snapchat.
Yeah, no lie.
I know. I mean, like, I swear I'm missing the idea. I mean, it's not stupid. I just don't know how to work it. Like, I literally take a picture and I tap it, and then I'm just, like, drawing lines over the picture. I can't, like, do words like my other friends can, and, you know, it became, like, one of those social media apps where you're just, like, scrolling to see people's stories instead of posting, so I just got rid of it.
Well, real quick, I also want to throw another programming note for you guys. Obviously, this weekend coming up, I know it's Tuesday, but obviously this weekend coming up, we've got Inside Out and Dope. They're going to be taken care of on AJ's movie reviews. And something that we have not yet reviewed that is going to be reviewed this coming week, Kumiko the Treasure Hunter is coming to Pop on AJ's movie reviews this Friday. And on Sunday, brand new verses, and this one is an epic one. Buyer beware. This is almost a 3-hour verses, but it is gold, Jerry Gold. Your cryptic comment is Vigilante. And next week, your cryptic comment for the end of June. I cannot believe I'm saying this now. It's almost July, which means not too much longer to I go home again. And that is Spielberg. So yeah, keep 2 and 2 together. You probably know exactly what those are going to be. So, that being said, as always, if you'd like to get at me and talk wrestling or Disney, Universal, Halloween Horror Nights, if you'd like to ask me questions I can't answer on here for good reason, if you'd like to become a popcaster yourself, or if you are a wrestling or theme park podcast and you would like to have Sir Owen Disney a part of your broadcast, please email me, sirowen@gmail.com. So in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, everyone in chat, everyone watching live and archive. Aaron, once again, thank you for being a new part of Pop. You're definitely pulling your weight here on this channel, without a doubt, and we definitely appreciate your involvement.
I appreciate it. I have fun all the time, and, you know, this is one of my new favorite hobbies to do. Always enjoy it.
And Ashley, thank you for coming out of gaming exile long enough to join us for another podcast. My partner in crime, I couldn't do this without you, and I totally appreciate your involvement with the channel as well.
I think, and I think I've worked out what that Codename Spielberg thing is actually.
We will talk off camera. So,
Munich versus that episode of Columbo he directed.
you are correct.
Yes!
Oh, I thought it was Jurassic.
It was Munich. That being said, thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and wrestling fans, join me tomorrow to talk NXT and Impact. I know it seems really weird to put those two together, but that's how I do things. And next week, another Popcast will be at 11:30 p.m. right after Raw, and we're going to be on the road to Battleground. So thank you guys and girls out there for watching, And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.